We gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes.
Harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this set as their Ravens will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
I'm scared. Two times. Hey. We got three. Three down. 81. 35. Watch 35. Rush in. 25. Check 25. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. You go tight. Shut up.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And now up to the 24. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to you. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. Get him. Echo. Mike 42, check. Mike 42.
On second and 9, Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Let's go.
That's good for Baltimore. First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Put him on the clock. Let's put that team on the clock. Check. Hot route. Hot. Switch. Hey, watch it. 49. Check 49. Tighten up.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mike, 55, Mike.
Now on second and 13, Jackson is going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Mike's 50. Go. Come on, baby. Woo! Hey, Mike 50. Mike 50.
From the gun, Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Sherrills. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Forced out to his left. Lets it fly for Treadwell. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Guys, game situation. Let's go.
Running right, this is Ingram. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on third down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10. A little flare, flare. Squeeze.
And with a play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
You got 3 down.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after one on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Come on.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice thing. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run from the pistol with Ingram. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's a give to the right, Ingram. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. On third down, Mark Ingram. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. On first down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. On the carry, it's Cook. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 17-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Cousins to throw it. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 17 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And oh, it's blocked. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down.
I smell fear in that offense.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Let's go, buddy.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They run it again with Cook. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Hey, 382, listen. You gonna see me in your nightmare. First. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A big hitter to start the drive has them up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Ingram, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson, he sets to fire deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
SOS. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Mike 42, Mike. Pick me up. Here we go.
Throwing is Jackson. Snead's got it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
A gain of 14 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. He can't hang. Any weapon. 42's the mark. 42's the mark. Come on, D. Ball shot. Mike 42. Mike 42.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Check four. Switch.
On first down, it's Ingram, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Got him in, it's Brown. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his gift.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys are back within a single score. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the shot. Gun. Ringo.
They run the counter with Cook. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the
Blue
38
drop,
yard
Orson. Gun. Me.
Again, it's Cook.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Cousins. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Jackson to throw. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll come out in the pistol.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Stay with your man. Check right 54. Right 54. Blue game.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still, if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
24-yard gain on the play. And the Vikings first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.